Welcome back to Podcast Recovery, everyone. We're your hosts, David O.
And Carly S.
And Eric V. I'm having a great day over here, guys. You know? These sad motherfuckers over here. We changed the
Eric rearranged the whole fucking studio, and we're going through some shit right now. We might have to seek couples therapy. It's going to be a thing. Anyway, we're joined by our very special guest, Kirstyn. How are you doing today?
I am fine and dandy, David.
Oh my god! You heard that on the last episode.
I did that on purpose.
Yes! Awesome. She actually listened because I was like, we've gotten a whole bunch of different answers, but we've never gotten a fine and dandy. This bitch right here said fine and dandy. Fantastic. All right.
Thought I'd turn around your morning a little bit.
Yes, that helped. I need everything I can get. Where are you from, Kirstyn?
I am from Westminster, Maryland. Born and raised. Just moved down here to the Columbia area recently to restart, you know?
All right.
Try to find a new way of life.
And I'm going to steal Eric's question. Is it Westminster or Westminster?
It's Westminster.
It's Westminster.
Okay, very good.
But it should have an N. Westminster.
I don't believe anybody was talking to you.
That's not how it's spelled, is it?
But it's how it's pronounced. I mean, is Blair Roads, is that spelled Blair Road? No, it's Bel Air Road.
Because it's spelled like Bel Air.
Yeah, it's Bel Air Road.
But they pronounce it Blair.
Yeah, because they're country bumpkins up there. They can suck it.
They're in Essex.
I don't give a shit.
I don't want to listen to you. So you're
Hey,
going.
it's like if you go north up to Tawny Town, but it's spelled like Tanny Town.
It is
right?
Tanny Town.
Yeah.
That is true.
Tanny Town. That's
here in Maryland, it could be Towson to some outsiders, but it is Towson.
No, it's Towson to Siri. It's not Towson to anyone else.
That's not true. I've heard outsiders call it Towson.
Or Catonsville. I hate Catonsville.
Yeah.
God.
Or Ellicott City.
Yeah.
Ellicott City.
All right, we're done. We're
Moving
going.
Moving forward from pronunciations. Where are you from? When were you first introduced to recovery?
I was first introduced to recovery in 2020, actually, during COVID, by my therapist that was like, you have some issues.
Okay.
You should try to find some help. And at first I was like, I don't want to be a part of a community. COVID's going on. I don't want to be around anyone or anything. So that was the first time I started finding out about it. It took me like another, 6 months before I actually went to my first meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Virtually?
No, actually it was in person. Wild enough. It was like end of September, October. They started opening up some meetings down there.
Oh, okay.
And, up there, I mean. And, I just came to a point where I was just spiritually dead. I was like, okay, maybe I should really give this a chance because I just have nothing left in me to give. Like, I was just so done with my using at that point. My first meeting, though, I walked in and I swear it was like 75 people. It was crazy. People were just happy to go back. Yeah. Man.
Those Carroll County savages.
People were so ready to go back. There was apparently from what I heard, a bunch of outside meetings and everything too that were going on for a minute. That was the first time it had actually been inside again. But just hearing the readings and everything, I was like, this is too much. And I didn't really understand Narcotics Anonymous. I didn't understand alcohol was a drug. So my last 2 years of using was just drinking. Okay. So my first meeting, I went up and got a multiple year key tag instead of a white key tag.
At your first meeting?
Yes.
Good for you.
That's super fucking ballsy.
And then,
I like that.
And then after some time of going to meetings, people started talking to me. They're like, and after hearing the readings, I'm like, wait, alcohol is a drug. And then I had to go back and get my white key tag again.
Yeah, this key tag is a sham. All right.
Yeah.
Well, how much clean time do you have?
I have 3 years, 11 months, and some odd days. My clean date's 9/14/2020, so it's coming up right around the corner.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. By the time this airs, you will have 4 years, so
woo!
Congratulations.
Awesome. Yeah. God willing.
Yes. So with all of that out of the way, turn it over to you. Share your story with us.
All right. Yeah. So, I was born and raised up in Westminster, good blue collar family. I'm really the first addict in my family. How
many brothers and sisters?
I got 2 brothers.
Okay.
They're twins, actually. We're only a year and a half apart. They're my best friends. Yeah.
Oh, so they basically had Irish triplets.
Yeah, really. Like, so many people thought we were triplets growing up, actually. But they're older and have, like, fuzzy faces now, so we don't look like anymore.
Okay.
And I joked with my mom, I'm like, I just need to grow a beard, then people will keep thinking we're triplets. And she's like, please, for the love of God, no.
There you go, yeah.
Right?
The bearded lady was a staple at every sideshow attraction for years.
It was solid.
Right?
He's still here.
I hate Eric's in a completely different room, so I don't even see him.
It's really
so
funny.
and then he just comes in like the fucking ghost of Christmas past, like, oh, that's really cool. Like, fuck off.
I know, just hearing him in my ear, and I'm like, where'd that come from?
Yeah, where did that come from?
What is
it
that?
Came from across this fucking dank basement.
Place is haunted.
Anyway, bearded lady, go.
So, yeah.
Eric, shut the fuck up.
God damn it.
All right.
Okay, anyway.
So, yeah, I mean, I grew up, like, in a really good Christian household. I was in Girl Scouts. I was a musician. Did, like, all the good things growing up.
What's
You
your
know, it was a
favorite Girl
nice
Scout
life.
cookie?
My favorite will always be Thin Mints, and they have to be
Good job.
frozen
Ooh,
first.
yeah.
Solid answer.
Good job.
Solid answer.
Always. So I was just like really involved in life. Like my mom, like that was like her thing, was volunteering. Like she's like the ultimate extrovert. But like a lot of times growing up, I didn't feel right being involved in all of that. You know, I felt
These
like,
merit badges are a sham.
I felt like anxious a lot. Being in school, I had hard times focusing or like making friends. I always just like felt different from everybody, you know. My first obsession though was music, like playing. Like I played saxophone for years. Yeah, and I wasn't one of those that like just played it in fourth and fifth.
Saxophone. I never played, but
I didn't know that. I learned a Carly tidbit today. Okay. Things are looking up.
The more you know.
There you go.
So I just like made music like my life and my everything for so many years.
Baritone sax, tenor sax, what are we talking
Alto.
here? Alto. Okay. All right.
And I would play and practice like every day. It was just kind of like my way of escape for a while. So as life kept going on, you know, I started like getting like different like mental illness and everything. The more of like not feeling a part of just kept growing, and it was...
Wait, time out, real quick.
What?
This totally just popped into my head. Sorry. You're born in 97.
Yeah.
Do you remember 9/11?
I don't, actually.
Okay. I was like, you're 4. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like, you were 4. I'm like, do you remember? Like, no, it was a weird day. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
There's nothing on TV that day. That's what I remember.
Yeah, there was.
What?
There's planes
did you
going
have
into
a
towers.
TV?
I did. I couldn't find a channel that wasn't playing something about, you know, things hitting.
Oh, you mean
know,
like there was nothing else
other
on TV. Got it. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I remember about that day.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, keep going.
No,
Sorry.
you're good. You're good. But yeah, I don't remember
Which
it.
is
But I remember like learning a few years ago and be like, that happened while I was alive. What? You know?
Whoa.
Yeah.
At least I'll always remember COVID.
That's good.
Right.
We'll always have COVID.
So, yeah, where was I? I don't know. My first introduction to drugs, though, was when I was, like, in high school, and after playing indoor soccer with friends, we would come back to my parents' house and put liquor in our Slurpees, like our 7-Elevens.
That's
Slushies,
awesome.
That's nice.
So-
what kind of liquor?
That's
What are we
the way to
talking
go.
about? Yeah.
I don't know, whatever liquor my parents had in their old bar.
Fair enough.
You know?
Fair enough.
And once I started finding that, like, it was making me happier. And I'm like, because I had been really sad. I was self-harming. I didn't know how to connect with people and everything. And I also just, like, didn't know how to share it, like, with my family or my friends. Like, I just felt like no one really understood who I was. Like, this separation of reality from other people.
What kind of music were you listening to?
A lot of metal and scream.
Yeah. I'm like, that tracks.
Yeah, metalhead. Yep. And there are a lot of rap too.
I thought you were a hippie.
I went through.
God damn it! Every time he says something,
I'm
it's
just
like
curious.
out of fucking nowhere.
I'm just
I
asking.
went through a phase of that too, man. I'm really into jam bands too.
Oh God.
Like Lotus or like
if you're a fish
Grateful
head,
Dead
I'm gonna throw
or
this pan at you.
Grateful Dead.
If
Yes.
you're a fish head, you're gonna catch a pen to the
fish?
forehead.
Are you gonna listen to some Trey?
My Morning Jacket's one of my favorites.
Okay, that's good. That's better.
I don't know.
Do you know who they are, David?
No.
You-
Oh my god,
All right.
David! You don't know who
No,
My Morning Jacket?
my hippie bands stop at like 1969. If it happened, if it happened after that, it's not a real hippie band. It's a bunch of fucking posers. I'm not interested in that shit.
Bunch of posers.
Anyway, sorry.
No, you're good.
So you have liquor slushies. You
Liquor
can't talk to anybody. Listening to death metal and hippie music. Go.
Yeah. So, and there's just like a lot of just like bullying going on where I just like, I don't know, people are calling me names. I just couldn't fit in with anybody, and it really just sucked. And then once my first like real like drug was like weed, and I'll never forget like the first time I got high, and I've just been changed.
Did you get high the first time?
Yeah, I was 16 and it was smoking weed, and some guy I'd kind of just met picked me up from like after a theater show, right? Because I was a theater kid,
yes,
and everyone else was going out to get pizza, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go out with this random guy and get high, you know? And that's exactly what I did. And after that, I was like, end. That was it. I was searching and trying to get high all the time. I was going to, you know, little crack houses like in downtown, like Westminster and everything on the weekends, and just
Jesus,
like
that escalated quickly.
It did, yeah, it really did. Partying on the weekends, sneaking out in like my mom's minivan, and you know, it got really bad when I went off to college. I went to this college, Elizabethtown, up in Pennsylvania. It's like outside of Lancaster.
Okay.
And I don't know, just my
fucking the ghosts.
That reminds me of the birds from The Dark Crystal.
Oh my god. Yes.
Yeah, like the Gelfling. Anyways, so
great reference.
My roommate and I, we both really like to smoke weed, so it was just like, it was game over. Every day I was constantly high, failing all of my classes. I just didn't stop. Like I was like, what is going on with me? But I was enjoying it at the same time. Yeah. And one of the craziest things to me was people, they would get blackout, and I would still be like totally in the moment, like, where's more? And I remember they'd show like videos the next morning, and they'll be like, and I'd be doing ridiculous stuff that I knew I was doing. Yeah. Everyone would be like, oh my God, Kirstyn, I can't believe you did that. Like, do you remember this? And I'm like, no, not at all.
Do you remember? No, we'll ask that at the end. Keep going.
But obviously I flunked out, right? I didn't go to any of my classes. I wasn't studying at all. So when I came back, you know, I found other friends. I just kept finding it, kept going for it. And that's when I got introduced to like pills and heroin for the first time. Yep. I'll never forget. My dad and I got into like a huge fight because he found my weed, and he was like, this is terrible. I can't believe you're doing all this. Actually, I used to stash my stuff in an old saxophone case because you couldn't smell. Like, you couldn't get the smell from it. Like, it worked like gold. It was...
Why didn't you fucking play saxophone, Carly?
I was not, talented in that way.
That's true. You're an athlete.
Far from it.
I hear you. Okay. So, weed in the sax case.
Yeah, and he found it, and I'm like, I could do so much worse, you've no idea. And that's when I went and tried heroin for the first time.
You did heroin out of pure spite?
Yeah.
That's...
And you want to know...
That's ballsy.
You want to know the dealer? He was just like, are you sure you want to do this?
I mean...
He asked me, and this was my friend's older brother.
No offense, you're on the side of adorable, so if you pop into a crack house, I'd be like... What are you doing here?
That would happen. I feel like that used to happen a lot. Like when you'd go in the city and
did that happen to you too?
No,
Eric? Were they like, "Hey, you have a purty mouth, Eric"?
No, people were like, "Are you sure you're supposed to be here?" And it's like, "Yes, I want the heroin."
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are a 5'6" white dude.
I know.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah, but I can shoot a lot of dope.
Jesus, that's true. You really can. Anyway.
I've actually never copped in the city before. Like, all my using was, like, up in the county or, like, other cities and, like, getting information. I know. God, if I ever, like... Actually, coming to NA is where I learned about a lot of stuff.
Oh, God. You learned where to find it, right? Like, they share about in the meeting, like, I used to go on Pratt and Monroe for about 50
Really? Just put it right out there, Eric.
Well, yeah, they always say it. Like, why not? I mean,
yeah, but our listeners don't know that. So now some person from Saskatchewan can come to Baltimore and go to Pratt and Monroe.
From Saskatchewan? That's you're looking at my pennants.
I 100% am looking at Saskatchewan and Rough Riders right now, and I was like, oh, yeah, I mean...
Yeah, someone from Saskatchewan.
I don't know. Maybe Canadians really love heroin.
Isn't that middle, like, Canada?
Canadians love something when I was up there.
Oh, yeah.
What did they love?
Meth,
PCP, something. I don't know.
They like to get wet.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
I mean, what are they going to do in the winters up there, right? Might as well just lose their fucking minds.
Have you tried the maple flavored meth? It's just the best. It's just the tops.
Is that a thing?
No.
Oh,
no. Me and my friend Zach had a joke how, like, there would be, like, seasonal crack and be like, oh, yeah, it's pumpkin spice crack season. It's going to be great.
Would you
and
like
then right after that,
that would be dangerous.
The peppermint crack around Christmas is just fantastic. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's dangerous.
Dude, if they actually did seasonal, like, pumpkin spice fucking drugs, oh my God, you know how many white women would be addicted to heroin?
I don't know if heroin's really, like, a white woman drug. I feel like it's more like something.
But what if you could? What if you could get the
drip? What about all those spiked seltzers that are going around?
Oh, dude, right? You do a line and then the drip tastes like pumpkin spice?
Oh my,
that would be pretty dope.
Well, you know, they are selling bumpable caffeine now, right?
Oh, God, this is horrible. Anyway, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we've gone off the rails. Sorry, Saskatchewan. I apologize. You're in a crack house looking adorable. Go.
You're in a crack... That's the name of your episode.
That was pretty funny. Okay.
Oh my God.
Okay. So you're going to get heroin out of spite. Okay.
Yeah, out of spite, and like, I don't know. I wasn't feeling high enough, so I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go smoke weed on top of this, and it was like the worst feeling in my entire life. But then I kept doing it, you know. Yeah. I kept going until I like overdosed in 19 and got into a car accident, just like completely like. I broke all the bones and like hospital, everything.
Broke all your bones?
Like it was like I broke my neck, my sternum, my back, and everything. I overdosed.
You broke
in the
your
ER.
sternum?
Yeah, man.
I'm sorry. Was that what you heard on that list? She said her spine.
I heard her sternum.
Fuck her sternum.
No, that actually was like centimeters away from my heart.
Yeah,
shit, man. God. Like crazy.
MC once
don't use and drive, guys.
One time, MC said the most painful time she ever overdosed is they had to do something called a sternum rub. Where like they open up your and she said it was the most painful thing she has ever felt. So when you said sternum, I'm like
So
it was unimaginable.
List the bones again. Your back, your sternum, what else?
My neck,
your neck.
Yeah.
What did you hit?
Is your back?
How are your legs
It was
fine?
a fucking Toyota Sienna minivan, dude.
No Subaru. It wasn't a Subaru.
No, we were in one of those egg-shaped Honda, Hyundais or something. Yeah.
Yep.
I bet if it was a Subaru, you'd be okay.
I bet if you were in another room, you'd shut the fuck up.
Never.
Oh, wait. No, you wouldn't. Anyway, so Jesus
I don't know.
Christ.
So that was my first overdose. And what I did, I didn't stop using at that point. I just blamed pills and heroin. So, and I blamed the other people. So a lot of my using was just going to other drugs because it was the other drugs problem, right? Mm-hmm. So after that, I was clean for a couple of months, healing and all that bullshit. And I went
but you probably had some sweet pain pills.
Actually, the doctor only gave me a certain amount, and I remember him looking at me the ICU doctor, he's like, you need to stop with these. I'm only giving you a certain amount, and your mom's going to hold on to them, and then you're going to stop after this and never go back to them. You need to promise me this. You're too young.
Bastard.
Right?
That guy can go fuck himself.
He probably saved her life, Eric.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
He might have.
Shut up, Eric.
No, he didn't. How long did you keep using?
Keep going.
What I was.
I mean, you were 19, so another
4 years, but I never, I never did pills again after that. So
he saved your life, Eric.
Yeah, shut up.
Wait,
Eric.
what does that mean though? Did you just do heroin?
So no,
let her speak.
I didn't do that
Continue.
either. What I did, I went to weed and psychedelics.
Oh, fun.
Okay.
So I was like, I'm gonna do it this more natural way, and
Oh, fun.
just drinking weed and psychedelics for the next couple of years. And let me tell you, psychedelics are fucking addictive. I keep telling people this. That was my drug of choice for years.
I've met so many people like that. What was
acid
it?
Or
Was it acid?
Both.
Mm-hmm.
What
Good girl.
what made you
Good
do
choice.
it? Because I've met people who did hallucinogenics every day, and I had a short month where I did it when I was 18. But shit gets so fucking weird, and it
It's all
doesn't
distorted.
it doesn't work as well. So you have to be upping doses, and it seems like a
What's the problem?
quagmire.
Microdosing constantly.
I wish I could meet Dan B before he fried himself. Dan B, he did acid.
Oof.
Yeah. Oh, Herb told me, he was like, I used to shoot acid. And I'm like, well, excuse me, what? He was like, I'd fucking shoot acid because I want to peak now. And it's like, oh my God.
I mean, I would do the actual drops on your tongue and everything, but never.
He would. Anybody out there, I'm sorry. Don't shoot acid. It's fucking nuts.
Don't do acid at all.
Don't do acid at all. Yeah. So anyway, you take a left turn to hallucinogens. Okay.
Yeah, and I was involved in local music groups, and I don't know, we were just doing concerts and listening to music and hiking and just being in out in the woods in nature and just constantly high and traveling to different cities. And I don't know, the thing that really got me to go along with what you were asking, Eric, what really got me with the hallucinogenics was I hated myself so much and I wanted to be someone different. Whenever I put
reason to take hallucinogenics.
Whenever
it's a way to
I
disassociate.
It was a way to disassociate. I wanted to. I know. Do you hear that too?
Yes. Sorry, there's a child riding her bicycle upstairs because we're in a basement now. Anyway,
she would have been coming into the room before.
That's okay. We would have had nice, interludes with Evie.
Yeah,
it's great. Anyway,
so I just wanted to disassociate with myself, and whenever I took it, I felt this confidence, this false confidence. I would had a whole different persona. I would dress different. I had a different name. What
was your name?
It was Kitty.
Are you wait? What?
It was Kitty Curiosity.
Thank you. Kitty Curiosity. Was it also double K?
Yeah, it was. Of course it was. I mean, come on.
That sounds like a stripper name.
Tell me your middle name.
Say it.
Oh my God, it does.
It does.
Tell me your middle name.
Does.
Tell me your middle name doesn't start
though.
with a K. Just tell me your middle name.
It doesn't.
Okay.
My parents are at least semi-decent.
That's a fair question.
But Kitty Curiosity.
That's
the adventures of Kitty Curiosity.
Pretty much. And I just go around with my saxophone, just tripping balls.
Fucking awesome. Oh my God, I wish I would have came across you.
Oh my God. Eric, that's going to be amazing when you put it in the AI for a t-shirt.
Oh yeah, I know. Just this chick coming out of a crack house with a saxophone.
Oh my God. Yeah, I had a friend that lived in Philly, and that's what we would do. Go to his little room in the bottom of this old abandoned just warehouse and everything.
What year is this?
Play music.
What year are we talking here?
This was.
No, it couldn't have. Okay.
This was 2017, 2018.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was like, if this is 2007, I was like, I was
that
in
would have
Philly.
made her 10.
That's what I did the math real quick, and I was like, no, that doesn't add up. Okay.
No, I was probably trying to sell you Girl Scout cookies
at
that point.
Okay, so you're Kitty Curiosity smoking meth with a saxophone. Go.
No meth.
No, she's,
okay, no meth.
She's on
no
acid.
meth. Sorry.
She's on acid now.
Yes, she's on acid now. Sorry.
Oh my God. Yeah, and I was just.
So you had this whole new persona. Wow.
Yeah.
Curiosity.
Mm-hmm. living out of my little Honda CRV, driving around, just like,
yeah,
not having a care in the world. And it was like that went on for a while, and like it came to a point where I was just acting like I was a spiritual being from God, because you know I'd have these moments, and it was like, I don't know. At the time, like, I was still trying to be productive. Like, at the time, I still got an associate's degree. I don't know how or why, but I still, like, tried, like, went to college and ended up getting a degree during all of that. And then I would go, like, crazy, like, on the weekends. Like, I thought I was, like, managing it, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't know where I'm going with this. So it kind of came to a head when I was part of a music community called, I'm not going to put their name in here, but I was part of a different music community, and I met someone, and he was like, kind of like straight edge, professional firefighter. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like the love of my life, you know? And he's like, you got to stop all of that if you want to be with me. And I was like, okay, you're going to save me. I'm only 21. You're going to save me and give me a better life. No, it turns out he's a full-blown addict too. And, you know, psychotic.
A firefighter that does drugs? No.
No, drinking. Yeah. But I mean, that's drugs.
Yeah.
Well, it's for the stress. A lot of it, like,
PTSD,
I get it. It's just a very common thing.
I think they're all tough jobs. You know,
yeah.
like, even what our friend does now, like, that's a tough job too.
Who?
All the first responder jobs. Donnie, what he does for...
Oh, Donnie's not We'll get into that later. Keep going.
That can be stressful.
No.
That dude.
I understand that, but Donnie is Donnie.
Oh, so you're just thinking Donnie's above it? Okay.
No,
or below it.
We'll get to it later.
Go ahead.
Keep going. You have a drunk firefighter. Go.
Yeah, and it was toxic. It was horrible. I moved down to Fredericksburg, Virginia for a while. Ew. And it was all right. I mean, it was a cute town.
No, Fredericksburg is beautiful.
I don't know, at the same time, yeah, we actually
love that
lived
battlefield,
like on an old battlefield, and I swear, like, but I mean, after you come off, I hit the mic. Okay, after you come off of like acid for a while, like I still saw.
Were you hearing ghosts?
Yeah, I swear I would see like generals walking by me if I was by myself in the place and everything. So we were actually living on a battlefield. So I'm like, is this real? Is this not real? Like, and
thank you, acid.
Yeah, right. Like I had just visions for like another couple of years.
Yeah.
It was crazy, like seeing shadow people and all kinds of stuff.
Oh yeah, the good old Hat Man. I miss you, buddy. Oh, we're not sharing here? So it's not the trust tree anymore? Okay, keep going.
I don't know. That was just like a really dark time in my life. Like I wasn't going out and having fun. It just got really depressed. I was drinking a lot. I had no friends. It was like the first time that I really found like dark isolation in my using. And got a taste of it. I'm like, okay, this is really starting to go downhill. Like this isn't fun anymore. I was just like using him for his money, blowing all of it, like trying to find out who I was, but I couldn't get a grasp on it because, like, I had nothing. Yeah. I had nothing, right? I was still trying to get, like, involved in, like, spiritual organizations, and, like, yoga type of stuff. I don't know, there was one where I was doing, like, this. I would go to this one place and we would do sound baths every week, and I was trying to, use that as, like, connections to the universe, and it was kind of scary. I don't know. I just felt like I got into such a dark place with things, and the abuse that happened. But I finally, and actually, I tried to get clean again. That was like my second overdose, like seizure, like coming off of alcohol is like no joke. Yeah. Like I had like seizures and everything. That was freaking terrifying. So left that and went back home, and this was like the end of 2019, and I was just like a completely broken person, and this is when I met that therapist, and she's like, you should try NA, and I'm like, no, and then the whole pandemic shut down, and I was just like in my parents' basement, depressed, like literally just so broken as a person and no hope for life and just drinking.
Yeah.
And I mean, and there really isn't much. Like I was trying to like work at one place where I was like fixing instruments. I'm like, I'm gonna keep being a musician and everything. And actually before that, I had a band and everything. So there was like some hope that was going on. Like we were traveling around playing like bluegrass and folk music, which was pretty cool. Our band was probably Whiskey. So
nice.
You know, that was So I get a little sad when I talk about those years, you know, because
that's okay. It is sad.
Yeah, like I mean the years where I was like smoking weed and acid and driving around doing all this music and everything, but those years they just like they hurt. Like I think about them, I'm like, dang, like there's nothing really great or fun other than that. I was an addict that was so spiritually dead and didn't want to live anymore and had no hope for life, no ambitions, no finances, nothing to gain or to grasp. And it came to a head where like when we would just be like partying at a friend's house, and I just couldn't stop. Like my parents were normies, so I'm like, I can be normal and everything with them and go to breweries with them and stuff. And I remember my last day using was brewery hopping, like, with my parents. And, yeah, and I'm like, I'll drive. I'll just have, like, one beer. It'll be fine. Yeah. No, got totally smashed and was with them and driving us home and, like, came so close to, like, almost, like, killing us on 70. Luckily we didn't get in an accident, but like came to a point where I don't know, it was just that moment where like time froze for a second and I'm like,
I can't do this anymore.
I can't explain it, but I almost got us into this accident where it would have just like killed all of us instantly, and I'm like, I can't, like I have come to a point where I've almost like completely hurt my family. Like I've kept it separated just enough to where it wasn't like I didn't think it was directly affecting them in their life. Like, I was okay with it killing me, but not them.
Yeah.
And so when it came to a point where I was about to kill them too, and ruin them, I was like, I have to stop. I can't do this anymore. And that was like one of my first spiritual awakenings. And that's when I went back to my therapist. I'm like, so what's this NA thing that you're talking about?
Yeah.
And that's how I started getting involved. And yeah, I've God, thank God, but I've never been arrested. I've never gone to a rehab before. I've never been through any of that. But it doesn't change things, you know? Like I came into recovery with a car but what I'm realizing is like the unmanageability was like not being able to be like a productive member of society, not being able to hold a job and pay for my own bills, or like just be able to, you know, take care of my mental well-being and be there for other people and take care of them. And that was like my spiritual awakening that I had. But that was my using over the years. It was kind of.
So how'd you get from Westminster recovery to here?
So the reason I moved down here is because the first 3.5 years of my recovery, I was with someone and we were engaged and came to a point where we just weren't working anymore. We weren't happy together anymore. And I was feeling that same like spiritual depression like I did when I was using, like back in 2020. I'm like, why am I still feeling like this spiritual dread? Yeah. And hating myself and hating my life. Even after all these years clean, like what's going on? Like I might as well have the drugs in my body at that point. When I started thinking of that and wanting to use every day again, that's when I got scared. And I was like, I have to do something different. Yeah. So my sponsor already lives down here. And she's been my sponsor for 2 years.
Who's your sponsor?
Carrie.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's my girl. So she's been my sponsor for like 2 years.
I've been trying to get her on the podcast, but scheduling. But we'll get her.
Yeah, you will. And she's got a fun story.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I and I always had in the back of my head, and it kept coming up over and over again. I'm like, I could just go down there. There's so much better recovery. I can restart my life. I can just move into a recovery house and just try a whole new way. Yeah. And that was
just gave the finger to the microphone. Like,
I'll join you, suck it, Westminster.
Like Westminster's going to hear it. No, I got a lot of friends out there. I got a lot of friends out there. They're good people, but you can't compete with Westside.
No, you can't.
The best side.
There it is.
I totally forgot you were here, Eric. God damn it.
Westside's the best side.
So you're here now. You make the decision. Columbia, Westside. Okay.
Yeah, and honestly, it was the best decision I've ever made for my life, other than the decision to get clean. Like, the people that I've met down here, the meetings, but also just like the spiritual, I keep saying that word, but like the freedom, finding myself, like disconnecting from that life. Like, I grew up in Westminster, used in Westminster, got clean in Westminster, and I'm like, I just need to separate myself. I need to find out who I am as a person, figure out what I'm doing.
What?
Maybe that's my problem. Maybe I need to get out of Catonsville.
Oh.
I recommend it, man. Like, go and like find a new place that you didn't live. Honestly, like, I've learned more about myself than I ever thought I would.
Full disclosure, this is my bestie. She can't go anywhere unless it's with me. So
right, you don't like change. Even just going to the basement was too much.
What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do here?
Like, the basement was way too much for David. Like, there's like smaller changes that David can't handle.
I hate you on so many levels, Eric.
Eric, how are you doing back there in a room by yourself?
He is in.
I'm great.
He is in the world of his dreams right now. He's like, oh, I'm just living in my fucking
so
lighthouse.
This was a selfish move.
Yes, entirely. He was like, how can I disassociate even
guys.
more? Oh, I can put more than a partition between me and the people in my house? Yes.
No, this is for better audio and cooler videos.
Go on. So you needed to find Kirstyn here in Westside. I caught myself.
Yeah, I did. Because I didn't realize that, you can be clean, trying to work the steps, doing all these things.
And still be miserable.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like, that is so weird. Like, I'd hear people talking about that. Mm-hmm. Like, I was actually telling someone this last night at a meeting. There was this person from my old area.
Did you go to Kira's anniversary?
No, I went to Keep It Real.
Congratulations, Kira. She just celebrated last night.
Congrats.
2 years.
Yay. Woohoo. I wasn't able to make it. But I was talking to someone, and I had like a little over a year clean, and someone with a little over 3 years clean was sharing, like, I'm just going through all this stuff in my life. Like, I'm spiritually dead. I'm not doing well. I'm having to humble myself and move into a recovery house again. I remember laughing, like, can you imagine having to do that? That sucks. Like, what are they doing wrong? Like, they just need to do better with their recovery. Like, I judged them so hard. And here I am doing the same exact thing. Like, I had to move into this recovery house, or I was going to use. Like, I needed those rules again. I needed that structure again. I came down here with no money, no job, nothing. Just like, actually, when I...
Oh, so you're in a recovery house down here?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm. Like, I had to, like...
Wait, there's a woman's recovery house here?
Yeah.
In Columbia.
Oh, in Columbia, okay.
Jessica's house? Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, so it's been...
Jessica?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. And honestly, it was like... It's been one of the best decisions. Like, all the lessons I've had to learn. I didn't realize that when I was in a recovery house for the first time, I didn't take it seriously. I didn't learn the things that I needed to. Mm-hmm. And I went back to my old patterns and behaviors while clean, while everyone was telling me not to. And that's why, of course, like, I was just maintaining it, trying to get better. And it wasn't going anywhere. Nothing was okay. And I started blaming it, like, on another person, like the other party again. Mm-hmm. And it's all kind of coming full circle because I'm on step 8 now, seeing my part in everything. And I'm at this place where I'm like figuring out who I am and changing. And I'm like, okay, what is my part in my life and how I interact with other people that's led me to this place of having this amount of clean time and not, I mean, I've gotten somewhere, but just not doing okay.
Yeah.
Right? And not seeing the growth and the progress. So that's like a lot of what this is, just like figuring out who I am, trying to be like a better part of society, and breaking the patterns that are just as toxic and bad as like as they were when I was in my active addiction.
Yeah. All right.
Crazy. Yeah.
All right. Well, we definitely have some questions for you.
Okay.
Carly,
let's go.
What do you got?
I don't want to go first today.
Okay. Eric, fuck you.
No, David, you go first.
I was gonna.
Didn't need permission.
We'll start with a fun one. So Christina, Martin's Christina.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she abducted a donkey at one point in her story. Listen to her podcast. It's fantastic. So we have, we on other podcasts have asked people, what is their donkey story? What is just something so outlandish and insane that they did that you can remember? Yeah, she abducted a donkey, took it to the gas station, and then brought it back. She left her dog where the donkey was, as
collateral.
Collateral. Yeah.
Oh
Here, have my collie as collateral. Here you go. I'm gonna take your donkey for a spin. Do you have a donkey story?
I do.
We all have one. It's just always so hard to think of it on the spot.
Yeah.
David wants to
I think it took me like
waffles.
4
Eric?
episodes to finally figure mine out.
Yeah, but when you did, I was like, Carly, goodness. Well, the gnomes is good.
Yeah, the gnomes is good. Stealing gnomes is always good.
The gnomes is fantastic.
Well, I do like not.
It doesn't have to be
I do have
stealing
one about
something.
stealing something. I do. Have a
Okay.
good one.
Yeah.
But I know the story. Hold on, I just gotta think about it for a second. Maybe can we do another question and I'll come back?
Fair enough.
Okay.
Fair enough. Okay.
Who said you could get 2?
Okay. Good point.
So the one point in your story, you said you were...
I want one of those.
Okay. Like spiritually dead, you moved home, you went to therapy. Was that your idea to start therapy? And like, what pushed you in that direction, but not in a direction to try to get clean at that point?
Oh,
That's a good question.
definitely went into therapy. I'd already been doing it for a while, actually, because I have like other mental illness that I deal with. And I was just trying to find, I was just trying to see what other things would help me. Because I wasn't ready to admit that I was an addict yet. I thought it was everything else, and there were other things outside of myself that were going to fix me. And I mean, therapy has helped, definitely. But I thought, like, if I did that, that's going to give me my answers and be my end-all, be-all and fix me. It took me a while to realize that I was an addict, and that the disease of addiction is really what drives a lot of what I do and who I am and the pain I feel.
All right. Okay, Eric.
What? Have you worked all the steps?
She just said she's on step 8, dingbat.
Okay, hold on.
I could have gone through all 12 first, though.
She could
But
have.
no, not yet.
So out of the steps that you've worked, what is your favorite step
You have
so far?
spiders down here, Eric.
We're in a fucking basement. Of course there's spiders down. Are you afraid of spiders?
No, but apparently Carly is, so I had to
I'm
not afraid.
Don't kill them.
Oh, it's dead.
It's
I'm not scared of them, but it was crawling on like the cords and stuff.
I thought you were... Okay.
It had somewhere to be.
You brought your
It
attention
was
to
heading
so I thought
towards
you-
mine.
I'm sorry. Normally I don't kill spiders. Everybody out there, I apologize. I thought I was protecting my bestie.
That just hurt me.
I was protecting my bestie.
That's so nice of you.
If it had to die, it had to die.
But out of the steps that you've worked so far, Kirstyn, which one is your favorite?
Oof. 6.
Ooh. That's a gritty one.
You like sitting in it?
That's a gritty one.
I sat in 4. I didn't sit in 6.
Yeah.
I really
The
dug
great thing
into
is, if you
6.
sit in 6, you can use all your character defects as long as you want. As long as you don't do it, you get to keep them.
Right.
It's true. You never gave them to God. I'm kidding. Keep going.
That's not good.
No, that is. I
don't think that's
He
right.
doesn't sponsor anybody, does he?
Oh God. Jesus.
Oh, well,
we won't go there. We won't go there. Eric, I wasn't going to go there.
Not anymore.
David's gonna take 15 minutes.
David's gonna cry.
Keep going. Shut up, dude.
So 6 I really liked because, I've been living with these defects my entire damn life. So just to, my sponsor had me for a week, like out of my top 10 defects, how I would see them every day in my life and write about them and how they were playing in my life. And then the week after that, the spiritual principles that oppose those 10 defects a character, and then spend a whole week focusing on that and writing about when they would come up. So I'm definitely like a type A person. I like answers. I like answers to my problems. And step 6, I felt like gave me a lot of the answers that I was searching for. Like, okay, you have these defects. Here's finally the opposite of those and how you can live it. And I was like, there we go. Because I'm like so in my own head and my own self-centeredness. Like I needed something to show me that here's the other way to
there was
live
some antigen to this.
Exactly. So that's why I really love step 6. That's when I started to see like a lot of spiritual change within myself.
I'm going to follow up on that.
Okay.
What are some of those top 10 character defects?
Oof. Coming hard with these questions, David. I want to be this
We've done this
today. Before. Perfectionism, control. You're looking over at you.
Can I help you?
I love you, my little perfectionist.
Yeah, what? Perfectionism, control, codependency. Yeah.
Fair warning, Eric's probably going to ask you about that next. Keep going.
All right. We're getting vulnerable here.
Wait. What did you say, David? I missed that. Go ahead.
Nothing.
Okay.
Nobody. If you're not going to be in the room with us, living
I'm
in the
not
now.
in the room.
Okay,
Not in the room.
good. It was about codependence. Keep going.
I love codependence.
Shoot, I'm forgetting them now. Lust is one of them. Procrastination.
Is
ego.
lust a defect, though? I mean,
Is
Yeah.
what? Is
Yes,
lust
it
a
is.
defect? Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Ego is a really big one too.
Yeah, that's everybody. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That wasn't all 10, but I'm not remembering them at the moment.
No. Yeah, it's on the spot. Is it my turn?
You keep trying to double up.
I don't know.
Ask the question.
I did. Sorry. It was just, I don't know. Go.
Did we have a donkey story yet?
Okay. Yeah, I think that's what I looked
Oh, right.
Procrastination. Killing you.
Yeah, it is. Damn it. Okay. I have one.
Okay. All right.
All right. So there was this one time at a festival. Like this one
Good
time
start.
at band camp.
It's a good start. Yep.
At band
It's
camp.
called Peach Festival. I don't know if
Okay.
anybody's ever been. And we so there was this place where a lot of us would go and play after all the bands were done for the night, and we'd stay up all night. And it was
Yeah.
called the Thunderdome. And it was just
Fuck yes.
tents, just like duct taped together and shit.
Yep.
So we were there, and I had my saxophone, and we were just playing all night. And this is how funny I was as an addict. Like, this guy comes in with a bowl. I thought it was packed with weed. But no, he hands it to me, and it was Chris Met.
Oh.
And so I'm already tripping balls from crystal meth for the first time. And it was so crazy. But the thing is, all the hippies I was hanging out with, they don't like any of it. We all didn't like that kind of stuff. We're like, we're doing it more the natural way.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a thunderstorm outside, like pouring down rain and everything. This is all going on. And I look at the guy and I'm like, what is your problem, man?
Yeah.
I throw the bowl And everyone's like, I was like, you need to get out of here with that. We only want weed and the real natural stuff. So I'm like this addict, like telling this guy to get out of here with these drugs and everything. And everyone's just like no meth, no meth, no meth. And we kick him out. And then we just light up joints and take more mushrooms and go nuts.
Okay.
I'll just never forget.
Yeah, that's a donkey
that
story.
Was something.
That's hilarious.
Like free drugs, and I'm like, no, they're not the right drugs.
Yeah, they're not the right drugs. We don't want that shit. That's funny. All right.
That was
okay. Cool. What do you got, Carly?
All right. As a kid, you said you were really involved, Girl Scouts, music, but you didn't feel right, couldn't fit in.
Yeah.
How, just from hearing your story, it seems like you are really involved in recovery in the rooms. Have you had that feeling of not being able to fit in, and how have you gotten like past that, if so?
In the rooms? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've had a lot of moments like that. I actually was dealing with that before I came down here. Especially with like other women in recovery, you know? Mm-hmm. Because, you know, they all have their other friends, or they've been clean for a lot longer.
I love the Westminster women, but they are tough to break into.
Mm-hmm. And I tried for years, right? And I never felt like they cared. Like when I moved down here, and instantly, like, a bunch of women from Carrie's network were like, let's all get together and let's do something. And that was like the day of, and they took me to meetings and everything. And the next morning I woke up to text like, how are you? Are you okay? And I'm like, what is this? Like, it was a whole new thing to me.
Yeah.
But what I've always just told myself is like, I'm not meant to stay here, and I already know that. Like, I knew that in my heart, and I'm like, my people are somewhere else, and I'll be able to find them one day. But I also was kind of using that as a mechanism to not reach out to others, you know? So I've really had to deal with a lot with like being vulnerable, humility. Recently, I was just wearing a lot of masks, you know? I was always like hiding who I was because I'd been hurt by so many people. And I'm trying to like open up more now and be like myself around people. I still like struggle with it and like find jealousy and everything, or like actually being able to open up to people where I'm at. But not always that, just like enjoying time with people and having fun and making friends. It's like a learning process. You know, every day I'm just trying to like reach out to some people. Still make sure I'm taking care of myself, but also just trying to be like my true authentic self. Like that's what I'm trying to focus on. But it gets hard sometimes, you know?
Definitely.
Like feeling lonely no matter where you go.
Yeah.
You don't know that feeling.
No.
I love you so much. Eric, what do you got?
So, you mentioned codependency.
Bingo.
It sounded like the firefighter was your like codependent maybe beginning.
Actually, during all the acid time, I had a boyfriend before that too. So
his name was Rain.
Well, just because Rain and what was it, Kitty Curiosity?
Hi, I'm Rain. I'm Rain Sage Moss. How are you doing? Oh, what's up, bro?
I'm Kitty Curiosity.
I can smell your patchouli from here. I'm sorry.
It's with a cat.
Oh my god.
That was rude. I'm sorry.
So, like, what are you doing, especially because I think recovery is really, especially early, which you're not in early recovery anymore, but early recovery can be really bad for codependency. Because, like, you latch on to this group of people who you're all getting clean with, and everyone's on their little fucking pink cloud. And then, you know, people start to, like, remember, oh, yeah, I have to like work and do all this other stuff. And I can't just do recovery. So like how
goddamn dissertation for his question.
Have you managed, David?
No, it's okay. Just ask your question.
How have you managed your codependency, like from addiction to now?
Well, I actually haven't.
Fantastic answer. There he goes.
Because at 4 months clean, I got together with the man I just left to move down here. Mm-hmm. I was 4 months clean, and I didn't make strong connections with women because I was living with him and made him my everything and left a recovery house. And
was he your higher power?
Yeah. I'll be dead honest. I'm tired of hiding shit. Yeah, he was my higher power for years.
Oof.
He was.
Oof.
Right? Like a week before we broke up, I was trying on wedding dresses.
Wow.
And I was like,
whoa.
And I was like, I am not doing this anymore, you know? And and it's been...
Had you put any, like, were there any, like, down payments on, like,
No.
venues or anything? Okay, well, that's good.
We were going to do it in my parents' backyard.
Were you engaged?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were engaged?
Yeah.
Wow, dude.
Yeah.
What have you been doing back there?
Yeah, what have you not been listening?
Taking a nap?
Yeah.
I'm checking the levels and shit, you know?
You're doing great.
Thank you.
I know what he's No, he's looking at his promos for betting.
No,
Turn.
I'm actually looking at Reddit right now.
There you go. What thread are you on?
I'm on...
Hold My Cosmo?
I'm on eye bleach right now.
Okay, fair enough. Keep going. Sorry.
So yeah, I really wasn't managing it well. Actually right now is the first time I've in as long as I can remember where I'm actually alone and I'm not talking to another person and I'm not dating another person because I use men like drugs.
Yeah.
I do. And so that's why...
And men are the worst drug.
That's why the first few years of my recovery, I feel like I didn't have the spiritual growth or anything because I was just using another one of my drugs to hide from finding like who I am and accepting my disease, you know? So I really... The past 2 weeks, I've been managing my codependency well. Like,
Has it only
start
been...
somewhere.
There you go.
I'm 2 weeks clean of codependency.
That's
So
great.
you just...
There we
wow.
go.
So you just got out of a 4-year relationship in 2 weeks ago?
No, she's been here for a
2.5
while.
months,
2.5... Well,
you know.
still, that's fresh, yeah.
But patterns, so of course instantly attached myself to someone else as soon as I came down here and...
Wait, you found a new boyfriend already?
I started to, and then I stopped it because I listened to my network and I'm making changes today.
Smart. Good.
And it sucked and it hurt and I made a mistake, but we're trying. I'm trying.
I've heard it a million times, just women saying, "Oh, yeah, men was a drug," and I'm just like, that is just the worst choice of a drug ever. You don't even get high. There's no like, what is the point of this shit? Really, dudes? No.
I mean,
I love.
They make us feel good about ourselves.
Why?
To a point, like,
I get it.
you know, we don't feel good with drugs. I mean, that's at least for me.
I mean, the high was the sex, and then you move on. And
Yeah,
find
exactly.
else.
So it's like, what are you doing for the other, 23 and a half hours of the day? You're like,
Spend 24 hours with that person and then move on to the next.
Yes.
Oh,
I was in a.
you are like a black
I was in a
widow.
pattern in high school, college, where it was like I'd
You were
set
a
my mind
man-eater?
on something and be like, all right, that one.
were
And then
a
I'd
man-eater?
spend my time to do that, and then I'd move on.
Yeah.
A spider with
And that
eyes.
was like the
You
the
leave
drug.
me out here with these sucky business,
was.
Eric? What's wrong with you?
And then if that one does something like imperfect, then you get the next one. Yeah.
Just move on fast.
Yeah. This is the first time in my life I don't have a next one. It's kind of crazy. I feel weird, like uncomfortable, but I'm sitting in it. It's crazy.
All right.
Well,
Fair
you did
enough.
say lust is a defect of yours with codependency, so you got some work cut out
I
for
didn't
you.
realize I was sitting next to
I
two
do.
fucking harlots. But
Harlots.
Wow.
I'm going to be honest, I just really wanted to use that word.
Ah.
It was a perfect use.
I'm glad you moved your little thing to the basement and made you uncomfortable. Jeez.
God damn it. Is it my turn or Eric's turn?
It's your turn.
It's my
Your turn.
Got deep on you.
You talked about being raised in a good Christian family, but then you said you kept having spirituality come up. So, religion versus spirituality.
Okay. So, religion to me is a form of rules that someone wants to follow to live their life, and it depends on the set of rules that they want to follow. At the end of the day, it all leads to some kind of greater good and energy that helps you feel better about your life.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
that's the difference between religion and spirituality for me.
Okay.
You know, like I have a lot of Christian values, but I also have a lot of Buddhist values, you know, and a lot of just like understanding, just meditation and being a good person. Like, what are my values? Mm-hmm. What are my principles, and how am I going to do better every day for myself and others? Yeah. And that's what it really comes down to. And so I don't really follow any specific religion because I feel like those kind of rules will just like box me in a little bit, you know? So I grab from all of them, but still, that's why, like, NA was my higher power at the beginning. Like, the rooms, they still kind of are. Like, the literature and everything, really, like, I swear my higher power talks to me through the literature. And that's what I really grasp onto. Like, it's okay to have something that's greater than yourself that doesn't conform to something and you can believe in and just has love for you. Yeah. And that's a lot for me.
And just my experience, because I'm coming up on 12 years. I've been here for a while.
Yeah, man.
Beware of making NA your higher power. Make it more recovery, because NA is still, you know, any particular practice or program or whatever, just like you said, it can box you in. And I've been able to really just, like, you know, set my recovery free to an extent. Like, I absolutely love NA and I participate in NA and it's fantastic. But, you know, there's a lot of values you can get from Celebrate Recovery and Smart Recovery and all these other, like, it's like, the market is not cornered, for all of our listeners, by Narcotics Anonymous. There's a ton of different ways to, you know, recover and gain different spiritual lessons and values and, you know, ways to recover. So, you know, don't necessarily make one of them your higher power. That was it. That's my 2 cents. Eric, do you have any final questions?
Can we make a comic book about Kitty Curiosity?
Oh my god.
Like a graphic novel, you know, and it's like, it's about your exploits while you're tripping balls playing saxophone, and you're just
that kind of would
that would be really good.
That kind of would be badass. Like, you could do like a whole thing on Kitty Curiosity.
Parliament. Like Parliament Funkadelic. You know, the front of their, like, their records?
Absolutely.
And they have, like, comic books in the front of their albums. Yeah.
Bootsy Collins can see around corners.
Yeah.
You know why they changed their band name so many times?
They were just
to get out of recording contracts.
Didn't they just have 3 brand names? Wasn't it just Parliament, P-Funk, and Funkadelic?
It was Parliament, and then it was Funkadelic, and then it was Parliament Funkadelic, and then it was P-Funk, then it was the P-Funk All-Stars. Yep. Yeah. And they would sign these contracts and then just be like, fuck them. They like, I'm not making any, like, okay, fine. Parliament's broken up. We're now Parliament Funkadelic. And so they would do that shit to get out of
that
recording
reminds
contracts.
Me of another story.
Hit us.
You want to hear it? Okay.
Yes.
I actually saw, like, George Clinton and Parliament Funkadelic in D.C.
Yep.
You know, took acid in the bathroom once we got there so we could be tripping all night.
As you do with P-Funk.
And once the show started and everything, and it was just insane. So I actually got up on stage and got to dance and everything. And then after that, it was, like, in downtown D.C. So we're walking around, like, the main strip with, like, the lake and the Lincoln Memorial and all that stuff. And the things that I was seeing, like, the big war memorial, there were all these spiders. So it's funny we were talking about spiders. That's what reminded me of it. Like, they were just, like, covered in spiders and the stars and just, like, running, like, all around and everything.
The World War II memorial with all the stars.
The World War II memorial.
They turned into spiders.
Everything was just like, oh, spiders, man. And then the Pentagon was just, like, going up to the sky. Tried to climb it.
The Pentagon? No, that's the
not the Pentagon, the Washington Monument. Because I was thinking of Point, so I went to, like, okay, the Washington Monument.
You know,
I swear, my brain is slightly dead.
That's the biggest obelisk on Earth. Fun fact. All right. Any other questions?
No.
Carly? Eric? Nope. I don't care. I'm all out of questions, so we would like to thank our guest, Kirstyn, for joining us today. Woo!
Thank you guys so much for having me.
Absolutely. Fantastic job. One last quick minute to talk to anybody out there who's struggling, needs to hear a message of hope. What do you have to say directly to them?
Just really just practice a 12-step program, no matter what it is. Take the time to write. Take the time to be with yourself. Take the time to trust another person that is also an addict and has been through that experience, because it will just completely change your life. It'll help you find new parts of yourself, lose the fear, lose the desire, just finally find some peace within yourself and some hope for a better life, and a better life will happen. Just gotta keep trying. Like, a lot of people say one day at a time, but I always say one moment at a time. Yeah. Because sometimes, like, it really is just that, and you never have to pick up, and you can actually have a good life. Like, if you have a few years clean and you want to change as well, because you feel like you're spiritually unwell, do that too. Because the disease is incurable and will continue even years into recovery no matter what. Yeah. But there is hope and ways to get out of it. I'm living it right now. So, thanks.
Beautiful. Fantastic. And thank you again for joining us. Here, let me see if I can do that. I've been trying to do this off the top of my head. All right. Here at Podcast Recovery, we're aiming to expand the scope of support for recovering addicts. Convenience and accessibility are paramount to combating addiction. We believe that... I'm fucking it up. I don't know.
Just like, join, subscribe.
Yeah, most importantly, everybody, thank you for joining us once again. I tried to do our monologue off the top of my head. I fucked it up. Yes, go to all our social media outlets. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all the good things. Go to Spotify, Google Play, wherever you get your podcasts to listen to us. Like, share, subscribe again. Please come join our home group and, join our Patreon, because we are self-supporting and need help keeping these mics on.
And sprucing up the basement.
And sprucing up the shit basement. But most importantly, everybody out there,
stay safe and stay clean.
This basement's amazing.